Hello everyone. I've been taking part in many AMAs about Swop.fi protocol and answered many questions about this protocol. And one of the most common questions was, is there any risk of using Swap? In this video, I'll answer it. If you use Swap just to trade and you make only transactions to swap one token to another, there are almost no risks. You have only a risk of facing with slippage, but you can set the slippage limit or what is the maximum slippage you can face. So we can say that there is no risk. If we talk about investing in swap by providing liquidity, then we have to understand that there are always risks using any financial instrument. If anybody promises risk-free investments, they're definitely lying to you. Even bank deposits or money under a pillow have risks. So the question should be like, what are the risks of using Swop.fi and how big they are? There are three main risks for your investments related to crypto in general and to Swop.fi too. The first is impermanent loss. The second is swap token price risks. And the last is general smart contract risks. Let's talk about each of them. So the first and very obvious risk exists for all automated market makers like Swop.fi, Uniswap, or PancakeSwap. It's a so-called impermanent loss. Impermanent loss is the risk that liquidity providers incur. And if the market price changes significantly after you add liquidity, the ratio of token amounts in the pool also changes because of arbitrage. If you decide to remove liquidity at the moment, its market value can be less than the initial state. This loss is dubbed impermanent loss. You can find a lot of articles on it. For example, there is an explanation on Swop.fi blog. So you can find more details about impermanent loss in this article. We'll provide a link to it in the description of this video. At the same time, in case of significant price changes, there are more swaps that happen, which leads to more fees accumulated. So it's very complex parameter usually. Also, you can use impermanent loss calculators like one on CoinMarketCap, here impermanent loss calculator. You can set, for example, that asset one price changes for 10% and your impermanent loss would be 0.11%. So you can use these type of calculators to understand better how it works. And I highly recommend you to read this article on Swop.fi blog. The second risk is related to the swap token price. The swap token price may negatively affect APY for liquidity providers. Right now, swap tokens offer pretty high APY in all pools. We can see it in the pools information page. The swap APY is pretty high. And these numbers may change in the future because they depend on the swap token price. The swap token price, on the other hand, depends on the volume of swaps. So there is also an article that explains how APY is related to swap token. So you can find it on the waves on the Swop.fi blog. And there is also a video which explains why APY is so high and how swap token is affecting these APYs. So we'll provide a link to the video in the description as well. But in general, we can say that swap token price risks are pretty low because token price is supported by Swop.fi fees. The last risk type is common for all decentralized applications. Their code is written by people and sometimes they make software bugs. But Swap is implemented using RIDE, the smart contract language of Waves protocol. This language is non-Turing complete and was designed to be safe and help developers to avoid bugs. Swap smart contracts code is also 20% less than Uniswap smart contract code. You can see the Swap smart contract code on the Waves Explorer. It's pretty simple. If you are a developer, you understand it definitely how it works. For example, compared to Uniswap, it's very, very simple because Uniswap is pretty complex smart contract with many files, while the Swap smart contract is just one file with 400 lines of code. So less code means fewer chances for bugs. And of course, swap contracts were developed by a very experienced team and went through a couple of audits. So we can say that the risk about smart contract code is pretty low as well. So please leave a comment if you think that there are more risks of using Swop.fi.